We don't need to be afraid. America is as polarized as it's ever been. There is ISIS still somewhat active. Russia and China are military and economic threats. We have currently a president who is very divisive, depending on your views. But we don't need to be afraid. I remember one of the things about the Trump election was just how afraid everybody was. And if I could speak to those people, I would want to tell them, you don't need to be afraid. There's a Father above who loves you with an unconditional love and who's far greater than any country or any empire ever could be. Paul, when he's talking to first century Christians, tells them that they need to pray for their leaders because God has put them where they are. One of the leaders that he tells people to pray for is Nero, and I don't know if you guys know this, but he had a history of putting people on crucifixes and then burning those crucifixes at night to just make a pathway, make light for his pathway. I'm not saying that there aren't troubles that are facing us, that the economy isn't always uncertain. I'm not saying that any struggle that you're going through isn't real. What I'm trying to say is that you can put those fears and those struggles onto the back of Jesus. You can tell him, hey, Abba, this is going on. This is something that I fear. But the one thing that you don't want to do is overshout or try to overshout someone whose views are different from yours. If I saw someone holding an anti-Trump sign, I wouldn't go up to them and tell them how you're the reason America's so bad. How could you dislike this guy? There's so many things that he does good for America. I would try to get their story, or I would like to try to get their story. I'm not saying I would be perfect at it, but I am saying that I would like to try to get their story. And it's important, I think, to have that mindset. I understand that this is a message that has been repeated, but I just kind of want to throw my voice into that repetition. Yes, cross the aisle. Yes, go find someone that you don't agree with and have a cup of coffee with them. Try to get their point of view. You don't need to take in everything that they're saying and take that as fact. I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm telling you to do is you need to go to somebody and not be afraid that they're going to attack you. Because 9 times out of 10, they're just as afraid of you attacking them as you are of them attacking you. Most people just want to help others. Most people just want to make the country better. And how we do that is, obviously something we disagree on, but it's something that, it's a common goal that we can work towards. I don't think that we need to fight as much the current administration as some people do. Another thing that came out after Trump was Hillary Clinton going to all these rallies and saying, "Fight! Women, fight!" And if you're a woman listening to this and you feel threatened by Donald Trump, I would love to hear your story. I don't know if anyone ever would, but if you can, I'd love to hear your story and why you're afraid. And I'd love to pray with you, because we don't need to be afraid. God says to cast our burdens on him. It says not to fear man, but to fear God, because God harms not only the physical body, but the spirit. And so we should seek to do the Father's will more than we should be afraid of someone who might be able to harm our bodies. We have a good Father in heaven. We don't need to be afraid of Donald Trump. If you are afraid, I'll pray with you, or you can pray with me. And then 4 to 8 years after he's been elected the first time will go by, and then we'll have a new president. And that's kind of the beauty of this system, is that it's not going to last forever. So take heart, don't be afraid. And if you feel the need to fight, I would say resist that urge and pray first. Pray before you fight. Make sure your emotions are not in this, and make sure that your heart is where your Heavenly Father wants it to be.